Welcome to Spiritual World, where we talk about all things related to spirituality so you can feel empowered in your day to day life. My name is Jean. I'm a channeler and a past life regression therapist. I started my journey by accidentally landing into a cult, and after a massive psychic attack, I came out and survived this whole ordeal and discovered my passion in spirituality. Now, let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome to Spiritual World. My name's Jean. Long time no see. First, I want to say I'm so sorry that I've been super busy in my life. I just started a new job and then it's been so crazy. All I'm trying to do is follow the momentum and at some time have enough time for sleep. So it was always on my mind to do some videos. However, this being said, I was also having a lot of technological difficulties when I have been trying to launch my podcast for 2 to 3 months. It's been quite a journey. So I am here at last with you. Thank you so much for listening. So, before we start, I just wanted to say that today's topic is about personal legend. Personal legend is something that stands so deeply within my heart, and it is something that really resonates so deeply within me. I still remember when I was 9 or 10 years old, I always had a dream to do charity work. It was something that was so important, and it's causing me shivers to the core, the bottom of my heart. And that is something that still resonates so deeply within me and is something that holds very close to heart to me. And I think when I got to Toronto, I was trying to do homeless drive too. So today I want to talk about some of the personal legend that you have. So whenever you were young, when you were a little girl, a little boy, did you think about you wanted to be an astronaut? Did you think you wanted to be a doctor? Did you think you wanted to be a firefighter, a dancer, or YouTube sensation or things like that. And I think the fact that a lot of people went to pursue on it is so beautiful because it takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of courage. And a lot of time, a lot of people don't do it and they forget to awaken to the fact that they should do and follow their inner dream and their inner calling. And today, that's why I want to explore and talk about. So, not long ago, I think life really put me out of a spin, and I was having a very tough, challenging moment. And the universe brought me back to this book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And it's such a beautiful book. And I know so many of you must have read it. And I am not someone that likes to reread books, but I did. And when I reread it, there were moments in me that I just had tears in my eyes because I was thinking that there's so many things happening in the world, and I might have forgotten a little bit of that little dream that I always wanted to carry within me. And this book reminded me that no matter how hard the challenge could be, we could all still find that little personal legend within us and to always keep on going and persevere. So sometimes when we are in a state of personal legend, it's important for us to understand we could be at a stage in our life that we might be stuck and we forget certain things. We stick to what's practical and we forget that little inner child is trying to come out and say, hey, this is what you want to do and do it. I still remember when I was in doing homeless drive in Toronto, and I was getting the support of City of Toronto, and I was collaborating with different kind of companies in order to create different kind of drives for homeless that stood so deeply within me inside of my heart. And every single time I get to do it, I felt so driven and so happy. But of course, I've since then moved to Vancouver, so that's I have not been doing that. I'm just trying to get my feet on the ground. But this being said, there's moments in our life that we forget. What is the core thing that you want to achieve? And today, that's what I'm talking about. So this story talks about this little boy called Santiago, and he's a shepherd in Andalusia in Spain, and he keeps on having this reoccurring dream about going to the pyramids. Don't worry, I have a bit of a spoiler alert, but not the whole book. Okay, so and when this happened, he said, okay, that's so strange. And he was reminded of his life with the shepherd. He knows how to read, and he loves to read a book whenever he's there. And he thought about getting someone to read his dream for him because he doesn't understand why he meant. And then he was also thinking about the merchant daughter. A merchant daughter was this little girl that belongs to the merchant. And Santiago, whenever he had to go get some wool from his sheep, he would meet the merchant's daughter, and they would meet once a year, like once a year. And that is very interesting because it reminds me of this moment of this, you are the hero in your life, right? So you're the hero in your life, and so many times we meet people, we think it's the right one, the right fit, and then we think that it is the right person, but it's actually the merchant's daughter. It's just a person that's passing by in your life. It seems like a great fit. It seems like a great fit, but it's just someone that's passing by. It is not someone that is meant to stay. And when you are understanding this, you will never be afraid to say, oh, sometimes people pass me by and they're only meant to be the merchant's daughter. And that's why sometimes when things really frazzle me, I'm being reminded, oh, maybe it is just the merchant's daughter. It's not the right fit. And then Santiago, in the end, he decides to sell all of his sheep and go follow his dream to go to the pyramids. Now, because the person that was analyzing the dream told him that it is actually doable, that he should go. It's his dream, it's his omen, he should go. So he decides that, okay, I'm gonna go. And when he went there, he met people that said they'll bring him to the pyramids, but instead robbed him of all of his money. And Santiago was devastated. He said, oh my God. Suddenly, I have no more dream. I can't do anything. I have no money in my pocket. I have absolutely nothing. I have nothing. What can I do? So he goes to this crystal shop and he decides to like work for him. And then because he was really good at it, he earned quite a bit of money to save up money. And over there, the boss tells him, like, well, you have enough money to return to Spain, Andalusia. And he's telling himself, like, okay, I should go back because I don't have anything left. But he was reminded once again that sometimes he needed to follow his dream. So in the end, he decided to step into the unknown, contrary to his boss, who always dreamed to go to the Mecca. Because his boss always dreamed to go to the Mecca but never went. And he just kept on dreaming. He said, my wish is to always dream that I could go to the Mecca so I could always keep the dream alive. But he doesn't do any action or any implementation of going. Whereas Santiago decides to go, he decides to implement his dream, to go, to follow his dream. So the belief and the action was extremely important. So if we look back about this, how many times in our life did we not follow our personal legend? And did we let our fear or did we let our dreams slip away from us and to say, hey, this job sounds good, I'll just stay. Hey, this seems too hard, I'll just stay where I am. And we watch things and we consume like TVs or we consume like memes or things like that that really consume our time, and we procrastinate and we don't do it. It's so important for us to come to this realization. The step to follow your dream, the first step is to start. And I'm saying this is because it brought me so much. It hit me so hard because there are moments that I get paralyzed with my fear that I don't do, or I get indecisive. And this book really saved me and allowed me to see that there are moments that I should really be executing, even if I am so afraid and I'm petrified about going to what I really want to go after. And then after that, Santiago decides to gather enough money, and he takes this money and he's like, I don't know how I'm gonna go to the pyramids. I don't care because there's treasures to be found there and I'm going. So he decides to go. And over there, he meets the love of his life, Fatima. The first time he laid eyes on her, he knew it was her. And at that moment, he said, okay, this is the girl I want. Because this is the girl I want, should I just stay and not follow my personal legend? I already found the girl of my life. And he debated for a long time. And then there was this in French, we would say a voyant, or someone that could see psychically, that said, hey, if you don't go for your personal legend the first year, it's going to keep on calling you to go to the pyramids, going to that. And then the second year, it will still tell you to go at it, and gradually it'll fade. And gradually the relation with you will be dissatisfied, like being with with your wife, because you didn't follow your personal legend. You didn't follow what your heart is trying to tell you, where to go. Where is it that you want to go? And in that moment, he understood that he needs to follow his dream. And the funny thing is, his future wife just said, you know what? You could go pursue your dream. Go after your dream. Go after what you want. I am a woman of the desert. I will wait until your return. So the third point I wanted to mention about this book, those are all key points that really hit me. Of course, I'm not gonna explain every single thing from this book, but that point really hit me, is that when you are in pursuit of the right dream, you will meet the right person. Because when you are searching in your dreams, the right people will align and find you. And I cannot express how many times, because when I was doing my startup, that is what happened. I was desperately in search of the dream that I wanted to create for the people that I wanted to service, because I was always trying to build things for the young professional in my life, because I was always building. The right people will always show up. The right synchronicity will always come through. And that was really powerful for me. And then I realized when I was going through this book again, because it's the second time that I read this book, and I usually never reread books that I have already read once, or usually I don't rewatch movies I've watched once, but recently I did that twice with this book and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Amazing movie. Please go check it out. And I was being guided to the universe to tell me that, hey, this is your personal legend. Don't let the words that's around you, around here, forget what you're here for. What is your life purpose? Do you want to pursue it? No matter how hard, and no matter how hard the challenge is. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional inside. To always go after the direction in your dream, no matter what people will tell you, no matter what you question yourself, no matter the amount of failures that you face, to always pursue, because ultimately, if God placed it inside of your heart, so deeply inside of your heart, it's meant for you to pursue, because the process is much more important. The process of this is for you to learn and appreciate and learn so much more about yourself. These days, I don't know how much challenge that I had to go through for me to go through it and be learn so many things that I have to do, which reminds me, just like Joseph Campbell's book about like the hero's journey, where you have to exit your common community to go somewhere else and brave the challenge to die and rebirth and become the whole new you. So this is all I want to impart you today. I wanted to wish you all the most amazing evening, to always seek on going after your personal legend, no matter how hard life could be challenging. May you all be well, my dearest friends. Bye bye, and see you next week.